Welcome to this video on the Automic Automation AWS SSM integration solution. In this video, we will explain the AWS SSM integration and what it brings to the Automic Automation user community. AWS Systems Manager, SSM, is a secure, unified management service that helps you visualize, automate, and configure AWS resources such as EC2, RDS, S3, etc., and on-premises infrastructure at scale. It eliminates the need to manually manage servers, offering capabilities to patch, configure, run commands, and maintain compliance through a single console. In other words, AWS SSM allows you to execute commands across EC2 instances without needing to log into each one individually. Integrating Automic Automation with AWS SSM allows you to run AWS SSM jobs in your workspace from Automic Automation. We will provide some technical insights so that you can clearly identify the integration components and understand the deployment sequence. We will focus on the configuration of the agent and the design of the two core object templates, connections, and jobs. Finally, we will run through a demo. Automic Automation plays a central role in orchestrating operations across multiple environments, including the cloud. Automic Automation synchronizes these processes with other, non-cloud operations. By integrating AWS SSM, we can configure process automation centrally in Automic Automation and then trigger, monitor, and supervise everything in one place. AWS SSM processes can then be synchronized with all other environments routinely supported by Automic Automation. AWS SSM's role is reduced to execute the jobs. All other functions, especially those about automation, are delegated to Automic Automation. This means that we do not have to log in to the AWS SSM environment and manually refresh it. Automic Automation manages all the execution and monitoring aspects. The Automic Automation integration provides a simplified view to run jobs in AWS SSM. Automic Automation lets us build configurations with intuitive interfaces like drag-and-drop workflows and supervise processes in simple dashboard tools designed natively for operations. Statuses are color-coded, and retrieving logs is done with a basic right-click. From an operations perspective, Automic Automation highly simplifies the configuration and orchestration of AWS SSM jobs. Externalizing operations to a tool with a high degree of third-party integration means we can synchronize all cloud and non-cloud workloads. Using various agents and job object types, we can build sophisticated configurations. These can involve multiple applications, database packages, system processes like backups and data consolidation, file transfers, web services, and other on-premise workloads. A conventional architecture involves two systems, the Automic Automation host and a dedicated system for the agent. The agent is configured with a simple INI file containing standard values: system, agent name, connection, and TLS. When we start the agent, it connects to the engine and it adds two new objects to the repository: a connection object to store the AWS SSM endpoint and login data, and a job template designed to trigger AWS SSM jobs. Let's assume we're automating for 4 instances of AWS SSM. We create a connection object in Automic Automation for each instance by duplicating the con template for each of these instances. Lastly, we create an AWS SSM job in Automic Automation for each corresponding process in AWS SSM. The Automic Automation jobs include the connection object based on the target system. When we execute the jobs in Automic Automation, it triggers the corresponding process in AWS SSM. We're able to retrieve the successive statuses, supervise the child processes in the cloud, and finally generate a job report. In Automic Automation, these jobs can be incorporated in workflows and integrated with other, non-cloud processes. The procedure to deploy the AWS SSM integration is as follows. First, we download the integration package from the marketplace. This package contains all the necessary elements. We unzip this package, which produces a directory containing the agent, the INI configuration files, and several other items, like the start command. We use the appropriate INI file for our specific platform. AWS SSM is a standard atomic agent. It requires at least 4 values to be updated. First, the agent name. Second, the atomic system. Third, the JCP connection and TLS port. And finally, the TLS certificate. When the agent is configured, we start it. New object templates are deployed. We create a connection to every AWS SSM instance we need to support. For this, we use the template con object, which we duplicate as many times as we need. The con object references the AWS SSM endpoint. Finally, we use the AWS SSM template job to create the jobs we need. We match these Automic Automation jobs to the AWS SSM jobs, reference the connection object, and run them. We're able to supervise the jobs and their children, generate logs, and retrieve the statuses. The jobs can then be incorporated into non-cloud workflows. We install, configure, and start an agent to deploy the AWS SSM integration. The agent is included in the AWS SSM package, which we download from Marketplace. We unzip the package, which creates a file system agents/AWS SSM/bin that contains the agent files. Based on the platform, we rename the agent configuration file UCXJCITX and set a minimum of 4 values: the agent name, the automation engine AE system name, the host name and port connection to the automation engine's JCP, and finally the directory containing the TLS certificate. Finally, we start the agent by invoking the JR file via the Java command. The agent connects to the AE and deploys the object templates needed to support the integration, the con, or connection object, and the AWS SSM job. In this demo, we will first create a connection object to your AWS SSM environment. Then we will focus on demonstrating how to create, execute, and supervise an AWS Send command job. This is the AWS Systems Manager, or SSM, integration. AWS SSM allows you to send commands, such as a Python script to check memory or disk space, to multiple EC2 instances at once. This eliminates the need to manually log into each individual instance to run tasks and retrieve outputs. Looking at the AWS SSM console, you can view the command history. This screen displays the targeted EC2 instance IDs alongside the actual commands being executed, such as an echo hello script. You can also group instances together using an autoscale group, allowing you to target multiple machines, such as a production template under a single tag. Now, let's move on to the Automic system. Here, we create connection and job objects with specific inputs that allow us to connect to AWS SSM. Getting started is simple. So, let's open a connection object. Here, we must enter the most important field, the endpoint. It is the URL of the AWS SSM environment. Next is the region in the AWS account where SSM resides. Now you can select from 4 types of credential methods. The first one is the secret access key. Here we have to define an access key and the secret access key, which is the encrypted secret access key value. The second credential method is the EC2 profile instance type, which allows you to connect to a EC2 VM within an AWS cloud application. You do so by defining the instance name and the time to live, TTL, for the metadata API token, measured in seconds. The third credential method is the external provider. It allows you to set up single sign-on, SSO, with SAML using either a service or an identity provider. Here, you define the authentication data required to access the AWS system using single sign-on. First, you define the tenant ID. This is the identifier of the Azure AD tenant. Next is the authentication URL. This is the URL that identifies the network address of the Azure Active Directory that is used to secure the application. The SAML username is the one that is used for SAML authentication when you set up Azure as your AWS identity provider. The SAML password is the password for the user that is used for the SAML authentication. In the principal ARN field, you enter the Amazon resource name ARN of the account's principal. Role ARN defines the Amazon resource name of the role to be assumed by the user. In the identity provider field, you enter Azure as it is the identity provider that is supported. The last credential method that is available for the AWS SSM integration is the AWS Assume role. This method allows you to temporarily assume a role and access different services with the credentials that you are assuming. The parameters you need to assign are the access key and then the secret access key, where you define the encrypted access key secret value. In the role ARN parameter, you enter the resource name, the ARN of the role to be assumed by the user. The last parameter here is the role session name, which specifies the role session name used to uniquely identify a session when different principals assume the same role. We use the secret access key credential method. If you are using a proxy in your environment, you can specify the proxy hostname, port, username, and password in the proxy section. Once the connection object is defined and saved, we can create a send command job. This job allows you to remotely execute scripts or commands on multiple EC2 instances or on-premises servers without requiring direct SSH or RDP access. Here, we start by opening the attributes page and make sure we select the agent that corresponds to the agent name you configured in the INI file. Now, let's go back to the send command page, and in connection, we select the connection object we have just created to connect to the AWS SSM instance. It holds the necessary information to connect to the AWS SSM environment. Following the connection input, we define the input mode we want to use. This can either be guided or expert mode. You can either type it in or select it from the picker field. You can directly input the entire JSON payload if you are an expert, or use the guided option to walk through each step. Let's select this mode and define the individual parameter. You start by defining one of the two action types: run command or automation. Automation utilizes predefined AWS documents for operational tasks such as gracefully starting, stopping, or updating instances. Run command is used for executing custom shell scripts, like an echo or sleep command. For custom scripts, you will still use an AWS-provided document name, such as AWS run shell script. If you define a filter in the document name filter, it helps you narrow down the list of available documents. Next, we must specify which instances will receive the command. You can target resources by providing specific instance IDs, selecting a resource group, or using tags with key-value pairs. We select the instance ID here. Next, we specify what we want to run in the parameters JSON field. What we are saying here is go to this document, run the shell script, which is defined by AWS SSM, go to this instance, and run this particular command, echo hello. Now, we can define a timeout limit like 600 milliseconds here. This is the maximum time the command is allowed to run on the instance before AWS terminates it. We also have a field for additional options that you can input in JSON format. Finally, you can configure the sleep and failure intervals, which dictate how often the system polls AWS for a status update. Once all the parameters are set, we save and execute the job. Let's switch to the executions view. Upon execution, the system automatically builds the payload and sends it to AWS. Once the process completes, the final status is recorded in the report log. So let's take a look at the report. It contains all the information that the target system sends to Automic Automation when the job has been executed. This information is presented in a structured output, including execution details and results in JSON format. In other words, the information is presented in a way that is easy to break down and analyze for further use within Automic Automation. The next log type is the plog type agent log, which shows all the agent's actions step by step. It lists all the parameters used to run the job and contains the response received from the target system. As you can see, here are the document name and the instance name, and the job has completed successfully. Now let's switch to the details pane. It shows the remote status field, which tracks the job status in the target environment. In our case, the execution was successful. The details panel also shows an object variable called command ID. It helps us clearly identify the specific job execution, which we can use for further analyses. This concludes the demo on how Automic Automation can integrate with AWS SSM to run, execute, and monitor jobs. Thank you for watching this video.